Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. If you're in the UK like me, it's 10:35 a.m. If you're over in Australia and surrounding nations, welcome. PNG, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, etc. PNG, Cook Islands, all that good stuff. Hope everyone's well. Poll is up in the live stream chat. I need to make some slight changes to the team list. Very slight ones. Major news for the Raiders, unfortunately. Not good. Not good. Unfortunately, Ethan Strange will be out due to illness. So, that's a major blow. Which means that Sasangi is currently listed at number 6. My assumption would be that Weeks might go to 6, and then it'll be either Tamale, Timoko, Chris, or Stewart will move to fullback, and then Sasangi will fill in a centre spot. That's my assumption. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen. Seems like the smartest thing to me. As far as... I think Chris might have some experience as a fullback. I think. Unless they want to keep Weeks at fullback and maybe put someone else at 6. Maybe Hudson Young, Starling at 6. Maybe Patty. Maybe they'll change some things around earlier on. But Nicholson will be promoted to the bench. So let's get rid of that one. So Nicholson is now on the bench. And it's going to be Sanders is going to be the 18th man. So we could see Nicholson back. Ex-Warrington Wolves player. Warrington Wolves fan here. So looking forward to seeing him. People might have put stuff in the chat, but give me a second. But big positive for the Sharks, though. They've made a slight change and a positive change that I think makes them a little bit stronger. The bench is now Nicola, Talakai, Hamlin-Ueli, and Hazelton. So Kafusi is out. Who's going to be a big miss. But Hazelton was huge against the Bulldogs 2 weeks ago. So I think the biggest strength for the Sharks has now been elevated. And one of the biggest strengths for the Raiders has now been reduced. So it's looking a little bit more favourable for the Sharks now, to be honest. It's looking a little bit more favourable. So let's get this team list updated so people can see the changes. So there's no Strange, unfortunately. That's a big miss. Okay, back to the chat. Watching from PNG, lovely. Nice one, Dingle. Shut up, lad. That is a big loss indeed. If Sharks have any shot at winning, they need Hines to go to another level. Yes, they do. Need to start Nicholson. Well, I suppose Hosking hasn't done anything wrong since he's been getting into the side since Nicholson was out. I've really been rooting for Nicholson this year, but he did a great job with the time that he had. He's then just got to take his chances when possible. I just didn't change it, Nicola. I was updating it. That's what I was doing in the meantime. Up the Sharks love Jaws. Well, definitely an easier chance now. Easy game for the Sharks. Still not an easy one, but easier. So yeah, my assumption is Sasangi will move to the centres. Weeks would go to 6, and then like Chris or Timoko would go to fullback. That would be my assumption. But I don't know. They might put Starling at 6 and Sasangi just plays as the 9. We'll see. Or maybe they'll just let Fogarty do everything by himself at 7. Sasangi might just be first receiver, and then it's everything that's out the back, and like the second phase of structured play is from Fogarty and Weeks onwards. They might just do that. Or every structured play is just Weeks and Fogarty together. Everything they've got in their toolkit. My prediction was Raiders 1-12. (26-20) was my exact score prediction. If you guys have your own predictions, let me know. Looking at the poll, 47 votes, 70% of the Raiders are going to win. Major changes, we'll see how they get on. For those that are here early as well, pre-warning, this game will likely overlap with the Merseyside derby. I'm an Everton fan. We're playing Liverpool today, so I'm going to have to get that game up at some point. I will still be watching the Raiders Sharks game, but I will have the Merseyside derby on at the same time to watch that, and that starts in not for another 2 hours. Nicolette says Raiders to win 38-20. Okay. Suba says Raiders 1-12. Gotcha. Dinglish 34-20 for the Raiders. Okay. Those kind of points, I'm unsure with those kind of points for the Raiders now that Strange is out. And with so little time as well. If the Raiders had a week to prep, unless they kind of knew when they announced the team list, maybe they still thought that Strange was unlikely, but I don't know. It's tough. So the Raiders lose out on Strange this week, and there's no Crichton. Well, as of right now, there's no Crichton for the Bulldogs. He is in the team list, but not the starting one. He's in the reserves, I think. How about Liverpool, though? 5 wins so far this season. All the winners coming in stoppage time or after the 85th minute. That's what champions do, I guess, McLovin. It's what they do. It's crazy. It's crazy how it's happened for them so far, but they're getting the job done. That's the thing. I'm not one of those... people might say I'm not a true fan for it, but I'm not the type to just completely shit on a rival for the sake of it. But no, it's definitely not sustainable. Isn't that what they say about champion sides? Even, they're still winning even when they're not playing at the best. That's the sign of a champion side. But they've just got to... I don't know. I don't even know. I've not seen enough of them to know what they need to do. But they're getting it done. Regardless of who they're against, they're getting it done. Got about Strange to change my prediction, 28-20. Okay, gotcha. Guy says high scoring, 30-31. Okay, interesting. I'll go through some of the notes that I had. We've got about 7 minutes to go. No way it's sort of winning says, oh yeah, I already read that one. Well done, me. Yeah, so some of the notes that I had. Let's take some sip of this. Okay, so the Raiders have won 3 in their last 5 games. That does include a loss to the Dolphins after they rested their whole squad a few weeks back, and a loss to the Broncos at the weekend. Sharks have won 4 in their last 5 games. They've won 4 in a row. I initially wrote there were no major changes to either squad from finals week 1. Chevy Stewart, Levi, Sanders and Mooney were all available for the Raiders. Puru, Bedell, Hiroti and Hazelton are available. Hazelton has since been promoted to the bench. The Raiders continue to look like an exciting offensive team. They certainly did against the Broncos as well. I have one major issue with their performance, and that was not going for a drop goal at the end of the second half of extra time. Like, why? You can easily set up one. There's some people that I recognise from the last stream. Dingle, I'm pretty sure Dingle was here on that last one. Why? And McLovin would have been here too. Why did they not set up for one? Why? What are you doing? Pure stupidity from the Raiders. Ridiculous. The Sharks didn't look great offensively against the Roosters, but defensively, they had a lot of work to do. They were backed up a lot, and they still held the Roosters to just 10 points. It was a great defensive effort from them. The biggest positive for the Raiders going into this is that they've been the best team all season. They can also bring close to their strongest lineup, or could, with Weeks, initially Strange, Fogarty in the backs, but they've still got Papali'i, Tarpany, and Horsburgh in the forwards. Then you've got guys like Starling, who played 86 minutes, by the way, last week against the Broncos till Patty came on. Guys on the edges like Young, Hosking, Chris and Timico. Now Nicholson will get on the field as well. And I think the Raiders might need to move the ball around a little bit more. I think they like to get it to Hosking and Young. They like to spread it towards them and then they'll sort of switch back. But I think they need to start getting out towards the centres and the wingers. Stretch this Sharks defence a little bit more. Because the Sharks have a decent pack that can compete, which I'll get onto in a second. Negative for the Raiders, potentially, is the physical and mental toll that the game last week could have had on them for this one. They played over 90 minutes and probably should have won the game. They had a 16-point lead at one point, which should have been enough, simple as that. And they had an extra man for a few minutes as well. Then there's the penalty at the end of regular play, which is a stupid rule. I said in my predictions video, I agree with the rule being enforced. Just to be clear, That's what the rule is. It has been enforced correctly. I don't agree with the rule. I think it needs to be changed. So it was enforced correctly, but it's got to be changed. If he's been fouled, as I said in the predictions video, if Reece Walsh was fouled 45 metres out and near the left touch line, the penalty kick should not be in front of the sticks. It should be 45 metres out and near the left touch line from the spot of the foul. Simple as that. The Sharks' biggest positive is their defence. They've really stepped up in the last month. They might be able to keep a lid on the number of potential points from the Raiders. Also helps that Strange isn't there as well. The other positive for the Sharks is their forward pack. They've got more quality depth than the Raiders. I like the Raiders' impact, but you look at Fanua Blake, Rudolph, Talakai, initially Kafusi, Hamanueli, but now Hazelton for the Sharks. Surely that's good enough to compete with the likes of Papali'i, Horsburgh and Tarpany. Negative for the Sharks would be their discipline and their errors. They cannot afford to gift the Raiders easy territory as much as they did against the Roosters. They won't be able to do that against a team like the Raiders. The Raiders are a side that you kind of need to keep contained inside their own territory. The kicking game for both sides will be huge if either side gets pinned back. I think Trindle has a little bit more in his toolkit in terms of distance, height, and is more likely to attempt and hit 40-20s with his kicking game. So I think Trindle will be huge. The Raiders have been the best home side of the remaining teams in finals, while the Sharks are the worst away side in finals. They're the only one with a negative away record in the top 8 this year. I think the Raiders have a few more weapons around their squad that can come up with a special play. Initially, I mentioned Weeks and Strange as those kind of guys. The usual suspects. Maybe Starling off the back of offloads from the 3 main forwards. Or even Hudson Young, who's been creating a lot of opportunities this year. So for a prediction, I went with the Raiders to win by 1-12, 26-20. And anytime try scorer was Savelio Tamale. So yeah, that was everything I had to say. Bit unfortunate that now Strange is out, but we'll see. We'll see how they adjust. We shall see. Well, that is what I had. Okay. Well, the Sharks are heading out. Going to get underway very soon, folks. Yeah, as I said in commentary, winner plays Melbourne in the prelim finals. Okay, few moments to go. If you've got an exact score prediction, let me know your thoughts. If you've not voted on the poll, do so as soon as possible. 95 votes, 61% say the Raiders will win. I don't think they beat the Roosters easily. I think you've just lied to yourself there. Not to say the Sharks won't win, because they absolutely might, they absolutely can, but I think saying that they beat an informed Roosters easily, I don't think is correct. No, Drizzy, they didn't. They really didn't. I think we all remember it being a struggle for the Sharks. It was a struggle. Right then, the forwards are going to be huge early on. If the Raiders can dominate at the start, before the rotations start coming in, the way you're seeing it, Drizzy, is not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything to me. I do not care that much. I back the Raiders 1-12, but I don't know with Strange gone. I'm not sure. Okay. Sharks will get us underway. It begins. Raiders With the first carry of the game, Stewart hands it off to Papali'i. He takes it just over the 10. Yeah, Sharks could win this one, given the changes. And Hosking with the next carry over the 20. David, evening, morning, mate. Hope you're well. Raiders by 4. All right. We shall see. 102 votes, 63% said the Raiders will win. 30 seconds gone. Starling at dummy half on the 20. Gives it to Tarpany on his right. Bumps off 1. Takes it up towards the 40. Yeah, that's a major loss, but just need the forwards to step up for the Raiders. It'll be tough against this Sharks pack because they've got a lot of quality and depth as well. Whereas with Fogarty on the last. And this will come down roughly on the 10 for Kennedy. Big fan of Kennedy myself. I'd love to see him in State of Origin or even Weeks, but it's tough to pick them ahead of the guys like Tedesco and Pappenhausen, Edwards. It's tough, but I like him. Sione Katoa with a carry down the right edge over the 20. Strange just had an illness. That's all they said last night, is just an illness. I'm surprised as well, Dingle. I am a typical number 6 build, as you can tell. Colquhoun with a carry through centre field, just over a minute gone. 4th tackle for the Sharks on their own 40. Brayley waits at dummy half in centre field. On his left to Fanua Blake. Eats up a few more metres. Last tackle for the Sharks. Brayley on his right to Trindle. Kicks from behind the halfway line. Under pressure from Tarpany. Gets the kick away. Bounces on the 10. Over the try line. Could go over the dead ball line and does. So this will be a 7 tackle set. 20 metre tap for the Raiders. I did say that I think in terms of kicking, Trindle would probably be the most effective in terms of distance, height, 40-20s, that kind of thing. So, yeah, not a great kick there from Trindle, but I still think he's probably going to be the more exciting option to get anyone out of trouble. But there's a penalty for the Raiders already. Holding down from Brayley. So that means the Raiders, they're already going to get a 7 tackle set, but they can now march up the field a little bit further. He's now with Weeks on halfway. Pops it up to Horsburgh. He takes the carry inside Sharks territory. So we could see the Raiders inside the red zone at the end of this set. We will see. He's now with Fogarty in centre field. Switches back to Hudson Young. I think we'll end up seeing a lot of very simple stuff from the Raiders. But if Fogarty and Weeks can connect in these attacking plays, we'll maybe see something decent put together. They're just over 20 metres out now. 3 tackles to go. Starling, right to Fogarty, pops it up to Hosking. He's going to be brought down 11 to 12 metres out in centre field. 2 tackles to go. Great field position for the Raiders. Starling goes left to Fogarty. Pops it up to Papali'i inside the 10. He's going to play this 5 metres out in front of the left post. 3 minutes gone. Last tackle for the Raiders. Starling, left to Fogarty. Left, it's wayward. It is knocked backwards by Tamale. Cuts back towards the middle. Nearly wrapped up. Gets an offload to Starling. Back on the 30, needs an offload, and doesn't get one. There's a mess on the end of the set there from the Raiders. And they'll turn over the ball on the 30. I don't think that's even a debate, to be honest, Dingle. I don't think that's even a debate. Brayley with a scoop from dummy half up towards the 40. And he draws in a penalty. And now the Sharks can move up the field. Horsburgh giving away the penalty. Big red. Marker not square. No, incorrect, Dingle. Incorrect. 4 minutes gone. Katoa gives it to Raymond. He then taps. Gives it to Hines. In centre field now with Fanua Blake. He's going to take this up towards the 30. Good carry there from Adam Fanua Blake. Brayley, down the short side right to Colquhoun. Switches back to Rudolph. Big try scorer in the last game. Possible lost ball. And it is going to be a lost ball from the Sharks on the 20. Do they want to challenge it? They could. He's not sure about challenging. I think that'll be seen as a loose carry, most likely. Probably best not to challenge this early. You've at least got the Raiders down here. It's not a penalty, it's just a turnover. Ben Curry-Yo, ooh, close one. So close. How can I decide? I wonder, has any team finishing first been knocked out Loss. There's probably been one. At some point, it's probably been David. You would assume. It's very rare, most likely. Jed Stewart with a carry, just short of the 40, right of centre field. Starling at dummy half. On the short side right to Hosking. Carries up towards halfway. 3 tackles to go for the Raiders. Now with Horsburgh. Shifting it left, maybe. He's going to get wrapped up on the halfway line. Rudolph, Braley and Colhoun to bring him down. 2 tackles to go, so not much happening on that play for the Raiders. 4th tackle left to Fogarty. Now Young. Just eating up a couple metres, not many. Actually pushed back onto the try line. Oh, not try line, halfway line. Well done, me. Now with Fogarty on the last. Kicks him halfway. Plenty of height, not much distance, though. This is not a good kick from Fogarty. Bounces towards the Sharks try line. Batted backwards. Knocked backwards by Rudolph. Then collected by Braley. And the Sharks have possession on their own 20. Trindle then gives it to Burns. Carries up towards the 30 for the Sharks. So a little bit messy from both so far. Not great. Mulatalo with the next carry over the 30. Bumps off Fogarty and makes a few extra metres. Quick play the ball for Braley. Now over the 40. And up towards halfway. 2 tackles to go for the Sharks. It's with Hines. Now Colhoun inside Raiders territory up towards their 40. Few metres shy. Last tackle. Braley now with Trindle. Boot to ball. Plenty of height. Towards the back left. Stewart underneath it. Goes up. Collects cleanly. Brought down on the 10. A lot of work for the Raiders to do now. I think Mulatalo hurt his arm there in that tackle. Timoko with the next carry. Getting pushed back a couple metres. So Sharks' defence last week was solid. They had a lot to deal with. Like a lot to deal with on their own try line, but they dealt with it fairly well. They just made a few too many mistakes. A few too many errors. Ooh, good scoot there from Starling up towards the 20, but that is a high shot from Rudolph. And they'll give away a penalty to the Raiders again. So this was the kind of thing against the Roosters. Penalties and errors. They've got to sort that out. They cannot allow the Raiders territory. Even without Strange, the Raiders are still a tough side. You got the big forwards that you don't want to have to deal with on your own try line. Because they're even bigger than the Roosters. And then some of the guys in the backs, Weeks, you don't want to give him opportunities inside the 10. So that's 2 penalties for the Raiders, 1 for the Sharks as of right now. And Hudson Young with a carry up towards the 40. Do you think Warrington should get Paul Rowley if we sack Burgess? Yeah, sure. Horsburgh with a carry up towards the Sharks 30. Plays it in centre field for Starling. He goes right to Fogarty. Switches back to Timoko. Timoko's going to be huge inside the 10, actually. If Timoko gets the ball in an opportunity to stand up at his opposite centre, then he could be in. If he's a few metres out, I think Timoko could do something inside the 10. Starling over on the left edge of the field. Last tackle, 10 metres out. Now with Fogarty, he's going to kick cross field. Hosking goes up. It is backwards by the Sharks, collected by Mulatalo. He's going to be stopped 2 metres in front of his own try line. Okay, 8.5 minutes gone. Ido with the first carry of this set. Stopped just short of the 10, pushed back by a metre or 2. No, we have Hopi. We have confirmed him. It's just, he's saying if he is sacked. Like, in the year, I think. I give him 8 games, personally. Colhoun stopped on the 10. 9 minutes gone. The Sharks on the 4th tackle have only just made it outside the 10. It's with Trindle. Kicks from behind the 20. If this goes out behind the 40, it's a 20-40, but it's not. It is collected by Weeks. Cuts back towards the middle. Bumps straight into Hines. Takes it over halfway. And the Raiders with a fresh set off 45 metres out. Great defensive work. That is excellent from the Raiders. Excellent stuff. Savelio Tamale with a carry up towards the 40. Sasangi with a carry. Scoots up towards the 30. 9.5 minutes gone. Starling on his right to Fogarty. Switches back to Hosking. Up towards the 20 for the Raiders. 2 tackles to go. Starling in centre field. Goes left to Hudson Young. Up towards the 10. Look for an offload. Gets one. To Sasangi. He's stepping. Trying to be like Ethan Strange. Look at him go. Maybe he does something a bit groovy today. We'll see. Last tackle. 10 minutes gone. Fogarty chips towards the back right. Batted backwards by Stewart. Weak stepping, one to beat. Towards the left, gets an offload. It is wayward, then collected by Hines. And they defuse that situation. The Sharks are on the 10. Ramian with the first carry down the right edge. He's going to get pushed back slightly. Makes about 2 meters in total there. Sione Katoa with the next. And he's going to be stopped 15 out from his own try line. So it could have been a chance there for the Raiders. Could have been. In broken play. But the Sharks came up with it. And they're now just over the 20 with Ido. Plays it for Brayley. He hands it off to Mulatalo. And now to the 30. Weeks should have gone himself? Maybe. I think he maybe should have just tried to stand up Rudolph. A little bit of a step and go. Possibly. But Weeks now in possession on his own 20. Returns it up towards the 30. And he's a few metres shy of the 40. 11 minutes gone. No points scored. Couple penalties either way. Tamale up towards the 40. Sasangi waits at dummy half. So now with Stewart. The tall lad is Jed Stewart. He's a tall lad. Plays it for Starling. And it's now with Timoko. Takes it inside Sharks territory. 2 tackles to go. Quick play the ball for Starling. Scoots from dummy half. Eats up 15 metres easily. Tarpany with an offload. Gets it across to Hudson Young under a bit of pressure. Not a great pass there. But last tackle. Starling on his right to Fogarty. Kicks this towards the back left. Putting Katoa under pressure. Chris goes up. It is knocked on by Sione Katoa. Collected by Sasangi. He is stopped inches short of the try line. Raiders ball. Fresh set of 6. He's going to have a go himself. Saveli Tamale. Has he done it? The bunker's going to check a possible try here. No try given on field. Bunker will have a look. 12 minutes gone. Tamale just went for it from dummy half. I think there's possibly a double movement in there. I think there's half a chance the Sharks get the ball off the back of a penalty for double movement. This could be a Sharks penalty. I'm pretty sure that's double movement. Yeah, I don't know why people were cheering. I think there are some people that just don't know the rules properly, but yeah, that's no try. And it's also going to be a penalty for the Sharks. That's a legend that is Tane Milne moment right there. Not good. Not good. 12 minutes gone, penalty for the Sharks. Alright, kick into touch from Trindle. It's not a great kick at all. They take it over the 20. And they're near the right touchline. Brayley hands it off to Kennedy. Cuts back towards the right touchline. He's up towards the 30. Brayley on his left to Hines. It's now with Colquhoun. Now up towards the 40. Trindle pops it up to Rudolph. Takes a carry through centre field. Brought down by 3 defenders. 12.5 gone in this game. 2 tackles to go for the Sharks. Now with Wilton. That's Wilton. Over halfway. Brayley left to Trindle. Kicks from the Raiders 40. Plenty of height on this one. Good chase as well. Weeks under pressure. Collects just in front of the try line. If he caught that in goal, that would have been huge. And up towards the 10. Sharks' great defence helped the Roosters 10 points. They'll be in the grand final. Mark these words. They'll beat Storm next week as well. Okay. Okay. 13 minutes gone. Savella Tamale with a carry up towards the 30. Bumps into Nico Hines. Takes it over the 30. That's a good carry. Good meters. Starling out the back to Fogarty on the 4th. 40-20 attempt here from Fogarty, I think. Sione Katoa has read that beautifully. Collects it on the 20. And cuts back towards the middle. Stop just short of the 30. Well read from Sione Katoa. Good work. It's now with Mulatalo. Down the left edge of the field. Across to Kale Ido. And eats up a few more meters. Wilton. Now with Mulatalo. Cuts back towards the middle. I need to yawn. Sorry. Well done, me. Sorry if I just made you yawn. Hines across to Ramian. Rumour for Katoa down the right edge. It's going to have to step back inside. Good recovery from the Raiders over halfway. 14 minutes gone. It's with Hines. Still the third. Pops it up to Wilton. There's a break here for Wilton. One to beat. No support, unfortunately, but it was a good effort. Good effort. 10 metres out. 2 tackles to go for the Sharks. It's with Hines. And there's a donation from Paul. Thank you very much, Paul, for the donation. It is greatly appreciated. Go on, Paul. What a guy. And there's going to be, I think that was a mistake by the Sharks at the end of that, I think. That's a good tackle from Weeks. That's a really good tackle. So Trin will kick the ball through, hit the legs of Sasangi, and then was it a knock-on from the Raiders? I'm not sure whose ball it is. They've got 5 seconds to pack it and go. It is a Sharks scrum, 10 metres out. Hines, as I need to yawn. Great tiring. Kennedy, 5 metres out. Brayley, it's now with Burns. 2 metres out. Need to be careful not giving away 6 agains here. Brayley now in centre field with Colquhoun. Out the back to Trindle. Out the back to Kale Ido. Trying to get around Timoko. He gets him wrapped up about 7 or 8 metres out. Trindle on his right to Wilton. Now with Fanua Blake over the 10. He's 2 or 3 metres out. Left of the sticks. Brayley. Right to Hines. Straightens up. Left to Colquhoun. Now 5 or 6 metres out in front of the left post. 2 tackles to go. Brayley on his right to Rudolph. Trying to crash over. Scored 1 against the Roosters. Oh, he stopped inches short of the try line. Great work there from the Raiders. Last tackle here for the Sharks. Shifting it right to Kennedy. Sasangi gets him wrapped up. He gets an offload to Ramian. Bumps off 1. Near the right touchline. He's wrapped up. Gets an offload to Katoa. Kicks the ball through. Collected by Savelio Tamale. And he stays in field. Oh, was he dragged into touch? I think he was taken into touch. I didn't quite see. Let's have a look on this replay. I'll get to see it. I think it might be Sharks' ball. Ramian got an offload for Katoa. Kicks through. Oh, knock on. Sorry. Apologies. It was a knock on from Tamale. So scrum on the 10 again for the Sharks. Right to centre field. Kennedy. And just a drop ball. Ramian just drops it. Under 0 pressure. Sharks could have kept building this territory, but the Raiders, they deal with it. Damn. Could have built more pressure. Could have built more of that territory. Well done, Raiders. They deal with that pressure. This would be a really big win for the Raiders. If they can... You know, it's a tough game, even without Strange. If they manage to get the win, it'll be a huge mental boost. After what happened against the Broncos. God knows what they were feeling, like genuinely feeling internally after that loss to the Broncos. But we'll see what they can do this week. But the Sharks, plenty of decent territory. They're looking quite lively as well. So this is going to be a good game. Once we get towards the back end, I assume this is going to be a very close game. But that's the first quarter done. 0 points scored. There's 22 minutes to go. Down the left edge with Young. Takes it up towards halfway. Now the last tackle for the Raiders. Near the left touchline. Starling out the back to Fogarty. With a Burton bomb. Plenty of spin on this one. Kennedy. Oh, drops the ball 5 out from his own try line. Oh, no. Mulatalo tells Kennedy to keep his chin up. Indeed, indeed. I've seen other people do Burton bombs more than Burton recently. I've not seen Burton do a single one in the last few weeks. I've seen Rowan Milnes do more Burton bombs than Matt Burton. 21.5 minutes to go. The Raiders backed up on their own try line for a couple sets. Yeah, not good, David. Not good. 10 metres out. It's now a Raiders scrum. 10 metres out. 4 errors for the Sharks, 3 for the Raiders so far in this game. Too many. At this point in the first quarter, that's too many. 10 metres out in centre field. Papali'i plays for Starling. Right to Horsburgh. He's in between or in front of the right post. 21 minutes to go. Starling. 6 again for the Raiders. Right to Fogarty. Switches back to Hosking. There's room in centre field there. Stopped in between the sticks. 3 metres out. Starling. Left to Tarpany. Fogarty pops up to Young. He's going to be stopped 5 out. Left of the post. Second tackle. Tarpany. It's just popped up to him. He'll be stopped to meet in front of the try line. Starling is right to Fogarty. Then to Weeks. Takes the carry himself. David is called Young for the try scorer. Well, you were on it last time, David. I don't know what you were on last time, but you were on it. I don't know how. But he's saying Young score try. Okay. Last tackle for the Raiders. They'll play this on the 10. Are you imagining a kick through from Fogarty? Well, it's a chip over the top. We have a contest collected by Ramian. And he'll get to play this ball. Oh, actually, there's a penalty for the Raiders. Don't... Oh, no, it's... Raiders penalty? Obstruction kick chase. Don't take the 2. Please don't. Don't take the 2. Thank you. They're not taking the 2. Thank you. Thank you. Papali'i up towards the 10. 6 metres out. In centre field, Starling goes left to Fogarty. On his right, then to Tarpany. Gets an offload back to Fogarty. Is now with Horsburgh. Down the left edge of the field. He'll play this about 5 or 6 metres out. 19.5 to go. It is left to Hudson Young. 2 or 3 metres out. He's right to Fogarty. Fakes the switch back. Then switches back to Papali'i. Takes it back over the 10. 10 metres out. 2 tackles to go. In centre field with the Raiders. Starling. Right to Fogarty. Out the back to Weeks. Tries to get around Iro. That's good defensive work from Kale Iro. Last tackle for the Raiders. Not been able to do much on this set. Fogarty chips across the face of the post. It is bounced forwards from the Sharks, I think. Collected by Savelio Tamale. Back on the 10. Is it a fresh set? It is a fresh set. 6 metres out for the Raiders left of the post. They're just building this pressure. Tarpany. Stopped a metre short. And that's a penalty for the Raiders. Don't go for 2. Don't go for 2. Keep going. Blood from the nose of Tarpany there. Oof. Don't go for 2. Unless they somehow get... If the Sharks get a sin bin off this, then go for 2 because it's easier to work the ball up the field. But otherwise, don't. Don't do it. The clock is stopped currently. 18 minutes, 23 to go in the first half. A lot of blood from Tarpany. Will he have to go off? That's a lot of blood there. Toby Rudolph is on report. Sharks suspend, take the tap. Yeah, that's what I'm... There's that. Plus, you're just giving up loads of territory if you do that as well. So they'll tap and give it to Horsburgh. They've had a lot of repeat sets. Even if they don't score points, this investment in the work the Sharks are going to have to do is huge. So with Hudson Young... 5 metres out. Every time he gets it, I'm like, has David done it again? I'm just... Starling goes right to Sasangi. He is playing as the 6, isn't he? He's not being involved that much as the 6, but he's still in that position defensively at least. Fogarty is going to play this in front of the right post, 4 or 5 metres out. 2 tackles to go. Starling pops across to Horsburgh, spins... Stopped in front of the left post. Last tackle for the Raiders. There's no way. Oh my God, the Raiders have scored. That's a Raiders try. I need to see that one again. I assume it's when he came down. It must have touched the try line. I don't know. Just let's have a look. Oh yeah, fair enough. On his way down, just plants it. It just looked like such an unusual grounding that it's like, wait a minute, that's not a normal try. But I think that's just straight up a try. Yeah, that just legit just is a try. Corey Horsburgh in front of the sticks. That's going to be 6-0 for the Raiders. There you go. Not taking the 2. Lovely stuff. It might have resulted in no points, but at least you keep them down this end. All you have to do is not give away penalties. That's all you have to do. Interesting option, not taking the 2. Yeah, it's always a tough one. My usual thought process is if it's 0-0, if it's 0-0 and it's a tough battle through the middle, then don't take the 2. Keep the ball down that end of the field. Even if you don't score, you've got territory down that end. You just need to be disciplined defensively. That's all you need to do. If it's easy to work the ball up the field, then by all means go for 2. Like, if you've got a much bigger pack, if they just cannot restrict the meters, go for 2 because it's easy to work the ball back up the field and get that territory. But if it's going to be a tough battle, don't give away 90 meters. Because all it takes is one good defensive set from the Sharks. If they go for 2, it takes one good defensive set from the Sharks, and 2 or 3 sets later, they're right in front of the try line and could potentially take the lead. That's just my thought process. When it's 0-0 anyway, if points have been scored, it changes things. Like if the Raiders get another chance to take the 2, they take an 8-0 lead. Completely understandable. You're making a 2-score game. Makes sense. But yeah, back underway. Stewart underneath it. Pops it up to Papali'i. And he's going to play this 15 out from his own try line. Starling, now with a try scorer, Corey Horsburgh. Sharks didn't hold the ball in tackle? Absolutely. It just looked like an awkward one. It looks so weird, like such a irregular looking try, but it is a try. 15 and a half to go. Tarpany takes it over the 40. No more blood from the nose at this point. 2 tackles to go for the Raiders up towards halfway. Down the left edge with Fogarty, then to Young. Stopped just short of halfway. Last tackle. Fogarty with a Burton bomb. A bit of spin on this. Kennedy underneath it. Collects cleanly, 15 out. Takes it up towards the 20. Cuts back towards the middle slightly. Stopped by Horsburgh and Tarpany. It's with Rabian. Out towards the 30. Mulatalo. Now just short the 40. Sharks just need to make sure they stay in the ground. They don't need to force anything. They've just got to be professional. They've got to be disciplined. They've got to be clean. They don't need to go chasing the scoreboard as of yet. Hazelton is on. Biggest impact against the Bulldogs 2 weeks ago. He could change the game here. Hazelton could legit change the game. Kick towards the back left from Trindle. Collected by Stewart. Wrapped up by Ido and Wilton on the 10. A lot of work here for the Raiders to do. Just over 14 minutes to go. Fogarty gives it to Timoko. He takes a carry through centre field. Was trying for a top, but the ball wobbled before hitting his foot, giving that weird sideways wobble. Usually pretty easy catches. Fair dues. Fair dues. The kicking's going to be huge from Fogarty for the remainder of this game. Making sure they find the corners. Because they won't be as reliant on shifting it around with Strange not in the side. But it's going to be the last for the Raiders up towards the 40. Fogarty. Plenty of spin on this one. It's going to bounce near the 30, then finds the touchline. Probably the worst feeling when kicking. Yeah, when you just don't get that proper... When you don't make that connection with the ball. So it's not a great place to turn the ball over. It's already on the 30 with Katoa. You've got to find the corners. Ido up towards the 40. Smithies is now on for Papali'i. Well, that's going to be a carry from Wilton up towards halfway. 13 to go. Sharks now in centre field with Fanua Blake. Then on his left to Hamlin Ueli. 40 metres out. 2 tackles to go. Right to Hines. Engages the line. Stopped on the 30. Did he lose it? The referee saying he lost it, but Hines is adamant about challenging this one. He's adamant about it. Hines is a smart guy. So you would assume that there's possibly something in this for the Sharks if he wants to challenge it as quickly as he did. There's no hesitation. I think that's going to be a strip. I think he's right there. Okay. Interesting. Well, there is a hand on top of the ball there. And the ball is, it looks like it's pulled. Interesting. Interesting. Anyone have any thoughts on that? Anyone that is watching the game, does anyone have any thoughts? Horsburgh leading the VB hard earned index. Young is second, Tarpley third, Papali'i and Hoskins, and nobody from the Sharks in the top 5. Timoko with a carry down the right edge off the back of the scrum on his own 30. Young knew what he was doing. Is that not a strip though? I mean, that's a bit of a... It's an awkward one. His hand is on the ball. He pulls the ball away. Or is that too much of a loose carry? I don't know. That one seems a bit subjective. It was a tough one. 12 minutes to go. 4th tackle. Fogarty pops it up to Mariotta. I'm looking forward to seeing Nicholson. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. It's been a while. Fogarty kicks on the last. Plenty of height. Kennedy under pressure collects it. He's going to be wrapped up 5 out from his own try line. Good work from the Raiders. 11.5 to go. The Sharks could be pinned back here if they're not careful. Mulatalo with a strong carry. Makes about 10 metres there. That's a good carry. Mariotta is on for Tarpany. It is now with Ido over the 20. As long as they don't get pinned back inside the red zone, that's good. Hazelton with the next one. Oof, Starling puts his body on the line. And the ball pops out. Oh, Hazelton's out cold. His eyes are open. He's breathing. He's just like, mate, he's been absolutely wiped. Clock is stopped with 11 minutes to go. I talked about Hazelton being like one of the most important impact props here for the Sharks. He was great against the Bulldogs 2 weeks ago. Literally changed the game for them. Kind of hate how the bunker rules sometimes. They don't call challenges inconclusive enough. Yeah, that could be... I think that could be utilised more. Like, it's okay to say, look, if you're not sure whether it's a strip or a loose carry, like, if you can't quite tell, inconclusive is fine. You stick with the on-field call. The other team keeps a challenge. It's okay. That one, for me, it's... A lot of people will have very clear views on what that one was, whether it was a strip or not. But I think with that one, I think there's a great case either way. That, look, you can just say inconclusive and move on. So yeah, still dealing with Hazelton at the moment. So for those that can't watch, nothing's happening. The clock is stopped with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Hazelton is being led off the field. I'd be very surprised if he passes that one. I'd like him to pass it, but sometimes you can just tell when a player's done for the day. I think there's a very good chance that Hazelton is done for the day. Okay, it is a Raiders ball. 20 metres out. Timoko goes from the right back towards the middle. So back to where they started. Starling on his left to Smithies. Go on, Morgan, lad. Will he make the England squad? Maybe. 6 again for the Raiders. Starling just gives it to Weeks. Takes the carry up towards the 10. Raiders in centre field. 10 metres out with a fresh set of 6. Starling left to Fogarty. Then to Young. Straightens up. Takes the carry. 9 metres out. Over on the left-hand side of the field. 10.5 to go. Starling right to Fogarty. Pops up to Smithies. Stopped on the 10. Third tackle for the Raiders. Short side left to Fogarty. Pops it up to Young. Stopped 2 or 3 metres out over on the left edge of the field. 10 minutes to go. Fourth tackle. Out the back to Fogarty. Switches back to Smithies. So the Raiders obviously not looking like their usual selves without Strange in there. Not being able to spread it as efficiently as normal. 10 minutes to go. Right to Fogarty. Last tackle. Right to Timoko. Chips it over the top. Chases. And it's over the dead ball line. Too much on that one from Timoko. Kennedy will sprint towards the 20. And it's going to be a 7 tackle set for the Sharks. Katoa with the first carry. Makes about 5 or 6 metres. Morning, Finn. Good morning, sir. 9.5 to go. Bad end of set. Yeah, not great. Not great. I think... So Hazelton already ruled out category 1 head injury. Hazelton's done. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. But the Sharks, 2 tackles to go inside Raiders territory with 9 minutes to go in the half as well. Still only 6-0. Last tackle for the Sharks, 30 metres out, left to Trindle, chips towards the back left. And it's going to be, I don't think that's quite a knock-on from, no, it wasn't a knock-on, but it was a 6 again, yeah. But it's going to be a knock-on then from the Sharks. And then it's Raiders ball, 8.5 to go. Okay, Captain's challenge, so it'll be a Sharks ball, but the Raiders challenge, okay. Okay, so basically, if Stewart actually knocked the ball on, then the Sharks definitely did knock the ball on. It's just a double knock-on, and it'll be Sharks ball. If it's not a knock-on, and it's just a 6 again for the Sharks, then it is a Sharks knock-on. I don't think that touches Stewart's fingers there. So it's then collected by Wilton, hands it off to Trindle, and trying to offload the ball. It's then in the hands... Oh, it wasn't a knock-on, sorry. It just was intercepted by Hosking. Okay, this should be Raiders' ball here. Good job this game finishes just before F1 qualifying, as long as it ain't in extra... Wait, is there F1 on this weekend? Is it this weekend? Oh, it is. What time is qualifying, by the way? And the Merseyside Derby, yeah, I'm going to have to watch a bit of the Derby before the end of this game as well. That's on in an hour. 1 PM, race to... Okay, alright, well, thanks for that. Mariotta with a carry up towards the 30 for the Raiders. In terms of set completion, not great for the Sharks. What's the percent? 85%. Wow, 85% for the Raiders. The exact opposite for the Sharks, 58%. And there's a swirling ball from Fogarty on the last. Bounces once back towards the Raiders near the touchline. Can Savelio Tamale keep it in? No, he cannot. Have the Sharks actually been shit then? Shit's a bit far, but not great, not clean enough. Everton bought a striker in the summer who can score, but instead start Beto. I do like Beto. I like his work rate. I like his effort. I think with more opportunities in front of goal, he will finish more. But Tieno Barry is 22 years old. So, and I think he came in a little bit late as well. I don't mind rotating. I want to see Barry get more starts, but I don't mind the rotation. For Noah Blake, 6 minutes 50 to go. There's no... oh, yes, there is Talakai. He's on the field. He can change the game. He can change the game. Left to Trindle. Chips from 25 out towards the back left. Stewart under pressure here, possibly. Collects it. And he'll be tackling goal. It is a penalty for the Sharks, though. Molatalo taken out off the ball. 6.5 to go. Sharks penalty. Any chance today, Everton? I think there's a little bit. A little bit. Defensively, is going to be... defense is going to be under a lot of pressure. We'll be backed up a lot. So we might be focusing on a lot of counters today. But we've got a decent side for counters. I just want to see if we can keep a bit of control. Keep some possession for a little while, which I think we can do with the side we got now. Brayley, right to Hines. Switches back to Talakai. Go on, CSC for lad. I do like Talakai. Such a versatile player. 5 minutes 50 to go. Right to Hamanueli. Stopped inches in front of the try line. Brayley, right to Hines. Pops it up to Burns. Gets an offload. Collected by Kennedy. Cuts back towards centre field. 10 metres out still. Slips over. He's going to play this 9 out in between the sticks. 5.5 to go. 2 tackles for the Sharks. Left to Trindle. Out the back to Hines. Then across the Molotov. What a ball. Nico Hines. What a beautiful ball, sir. Great ball. Beautiful. Nicely done. He should be on Trindle money. Anyway, moving on. 6-4. With a kick to come. I put that clip in the stream highlights video on TikTok last week. Some people disagreed, saying that Hines is the better player than Trindle. Mulatalo, 66 tries away from... let me try and get this one. Andrew Ettingshausen. Okay. 10 off David Peachy. 66 away from the most tries. Well, he's got plenty of years left in his career. If he stays at the Sharks, he could definitely do it. Merseyside Derby is one of the only Liverpool games which you can't really predict because anything can happen. Absolutely, good point. He can't score for shit. He should have scored 4 last week and scored 0. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but it's all right. I'm not going to crucify him. It's fine. Liverpool has benched Wirtz, Isak, and Frimpong. Really? If Sharks score, they'd be happy with 6-6 at half time. I think they would be. They've had 58% completion. The kick from Hines looks okay. Sneaks it in. Sneaks it in. That's going to be 6-all. Yeah, the Sharks will be happy with a draw at half time. 58% completion. They're a little bit fortunate that there's no Strange there. The Raiders haven't looked that comfortable inside the red zone. Hines don't miss kicks from this side, 6-6. Well, you called it. You called it. What happens to the Raiders? What's happened to the Raiders? They easily won the league. I don't think they easily won it. But it was just, it was a tough game against the Broncos. It was a hell of a game. And, well, they are missing their star number 6. So that doesn't help. 3 minutes 40 to go. 6-all. Iro is going to play this about 15 out from his own try line. 3.5 minutes left. It's with Talakai. Gives it to Hamanueli. He takes it over the 20 down the right edge of the field. Great game. Now Sharks need to show these Raiders who the real big boys are coming on Big Nico Hines. Well, they've got to complete at a higher rate, Drizzy. They've got to start completing higher. So with Trindle, good meters though up towards the halfway line already on the 4th. Iro with a break down the left edge. He's got support from Mulatalo, possibly. I think he was slightly a little bit too far ahead. Ido's still going. Don't let him do it. They're a metre out. Last tackle, 3 minutes to go. The Sharks could actually take the lead here. This would be insane if the Sharks take the lead. Trindle switches back to Hines. Hines puts it down for a try. The Sharks will legit take the lead with 3 minutes to go. With 60% completion. All of a sudden, they take the lead. Well, that is a try and assist for Nico Hines. There's Trindle across to Hines. He then pops up to Ido for the line break. Ido making up more meters. Stopped a metre short. Let's have a look. And it's Trindle. Switches back to Hines. Bit of space there. They can't quite get the ball wrapped up. Puts it down. That's a lead for the Sharks. It'll likely be 12-6 in a second. Mate. And we were just saying the Sharks would be happy with 6-all. Jesus. Where's Ethan Strange? Had illness last night, something like that. Was ruled out. Minute 45 to go. The clock's still ticking. Hines will take the conversion in a second. Most points. It's not that far off Brett Camorley. Not that far off. Not that far. Bye-bye, Raiders. You ruling them out right now? Are you saying that's it? No comeback? Drizzy's calling it. In front of the sticks, the kick from Nico Hines is good. I'm up to 12.2k subs, by the way. Thank you very much for that. It's game over? Okay. Mentally, Raiders need to find after last week. Losing at half-time when should be leading. Yeah. It could be a huge mental blow. Could be. So stats-wise, Sharks dominating in the last 10 minutes. 66% possession, 3 line breaks to 0. Way over double the meters. So 1 minute 20 left. Good chance the Sharks see out this half. And it's going to be Fonua Blake with a carry up towards the 10. Has he even had a break in this half, Fonua Blake? 1 minute to go. Plays it on his own 10. Now with Katoa. Stops on the 10 again. Brayley. Now Talakai. Pumping his legs up towards the 20. Good carry there from CSC for Talakai. 25 out from his own try line. 40 seconds to go. Scoot there from Brayley. Up towards the 40. 2 tackles for the Sharks. I reckon the Raiders will get 1 or 2 plays here, but we'll see. Trindle gives it to Wilton down the left edge. Just short of halfway. 30 seconds to go. Last tackle for the Sharks. Now with Trindle. Kicks from halfway. Plenty of height on this one. Weeks underneath it. Collected on his own 10. 20 seconds to go. Up towards the 20. So, do the Raiders want to have a go here or just see out the half? Go into the sheds. Tamale carries it straight up towards the 30. This will be the last play of the game now. Starling. Left to Young. Chips over the top. There's a chase here from Chris. Getting around Katoa. Does he get the bounce? No. Collected by Sione Katoa. And that's going to be half-time. 12-6 for the Sharks. 2 tries in 3 minutes to make the comeback. To take the lead. With all the possession, all the territory that the Raiders have had, it's been difficult again without Strange. Well, the Sharks eventually turned it on. At one point, they had 58% completion. Let's have a look at the stats, see what they're on now. %65%, which is still absolutely atrocious, but at least they picked it up recently. The Raiders just having a quick chat before they go into the sheds. They cannot get mentally... What's the word? I'll just rephrase. They need to be mentally strong for the second half. William says Sharks go. Well, they have the lead at half time. They need to be mentally unwavering. There's been a fair few comebacks from the Raiders this season. I've missed a few comments, 1 second. Salford fans stormed the owner's box after the game last night and stole some stuff apparently after the pitch invasion. That's not on. Shame they're done in Super League now. Yep, indeed. This year, even 7th and 8th were good teams. Panthers and Roosters, no easy beats this year in finals. Absolutely. I miss those ones. Storm will be confident no matter who they play out of these two. I don't know. The Storm have not looked that convincing. I think they'll have Hughes and Pappenhausen back, and they'll have a bit of time to, get them up to fitness, the right fitness levels with the extra break. But the Storm haven't looked that convincing. Well, we'll see. We'll see who they get. We'll see what the matchups look like. Right, I'll put up another poll, see what people think. New poll is up, see what people think. Will the Raiders make the comeback? Will the Sharks get it done? 12-6 to the Sharks at half time. So there's a poll in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Okay. So it's a decent game so far. It's not been the cleanest performance-wise from a couple, but it's, it's still a decent game. I started watching Adolescence last night, actually. Don't know about anyone else. We're getting away from the Rugby League talk, but I started watching it. It's rough stuff. It's rough stuff. Great show. Mate, from the first episode I was hooked. Second episode I was hooked. Third one, it dragged on a bit. And the last one, I'd stopped it with 20 minutes to go because I needed to get some sleep. But yeah, the last one's dragging on a bit as well. Shot each episode in one take, yeah. But that's the thing with the third and fourth episode. It's like, at a certain point, it's sticking with conversations that are just getting too boring. Like the conversation between the woman and the kid in the third episode, it just keeps going on. It's like, at a certain point, it's like, I'm just kind of done with this conversation now. Like, just move on. And, like, the fourth one with the drive into the warehouse, Wainwright's or whatever it's called. I can't think of the name of it. But to, like, get the stuff off the van, it's just all that. It just drags on. It just drags on. First one was great. It was insane. Second one was pretty good as well. But it's just dragging on. It's impressive how they've done it. It's really, really well done. But yeah, It's losing me. Third and fourth episode, I was just on my phone, on my PC. I was just looking at, I was just listening. So I was listening to conversations that I just didn't want to listen to. Kept thinking there would be a twist, but there wasn't. I remember the saying, well, this is technically a spoiler for anyone that's not seen it. But they were basically saying that from the first episode, they made it clear that he did do it. Like, they didn't want to hide the fact that he did it. It was more shining a light on why some boys act the way they do and what kind of world and environment they're brought up in. I think that's what Stephen Graham said anyway. I think I remember him talking about something like that. Like, they make it clear that it's not, yes, Finn, that it's not about a whodunit. It's not trying to figure out who did it, but it's more like the why, the process, and how, what kids go through in schools these days. But I tell you what, I'm glad I'm not in school these days. With the way that kids act today, I'm glad that I'm not part of that generation. Eight errors from the Sharks. They need to clean that up. I know they've got the lead, but they can't keep allowing that. They got away with it against the Roosters. They might get away with it again in this one, but they can't afford to let that be a habit. That show was interesting first episode, but was good. The rest of them were a bit confusing. Yeah, I wasn't exactly confused. It just kept dragging on. But yeah, still got 20 more minutes to go on the last one. I'll tell you what I did watch recently, which is a great show, was Hijack. That's an Apple TV show. That was great. Apple TV, they come out with some bangers. They really do. I don't know how they do it. The only one that I've tried to watch that I can't watch is Succession. I watched 20 minutes and I was bored. But Ted Lasso, for me, is a banger. Actually, 3 of my top 5s are all Apple TV shows. Ted Lasso is one of my top 5s. Severance is a top 5 for me. The absolute banger. And Silo is an absolute incredible show. The problem with Silo is a little bit dark sometimes. Not story-wise, but visually it's a bit dark. With Silo, it's tough to get through. But it's one of those where if you invest the time in it, the story just gets even more interesting. You want more to happen, but you don't want to be given too much. You always want more. It's a little bit frustrated, actually, but I actually just love it. It makes me want more. In a frustrating way and in an exciting way. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, 3 of my top 5s are Apple TV. They made some bangers. I can't remember if Mr. Robot's an Apple TV show or not. If that was just HBO or something. I'm not too sure. Raiders trying to score every play I feel. Maybe a little bit. There's a lot of switchbacks just taking carries. That might be their only way of going in. Best series you've ever watched is Ted Lasso. It's such a great show. I'm glad they're doing a 4th. I hope it's not ruined, but it's such a good show. I really liked Season 1 and Season 2. Season 3 was amazing, but the point where it stepped up for me, and I know some people have actually said it's not a great episode, it might be the worst one, but the Sunflower episode when they go to Amsterdam, that elevates for me. Everyone gets their own story in their own groups or whatever. And it just you get everything you want for everybody. I love that episode. And it just keeps getting better after that. 50 votes at the moment. 60% say the Sharks will retain the lead. Or not necessarily retain the lead, but win. The other shows are my top 5. How am I forgetting my number 1? How am I forgetting my number 1? Must not be that good if I can't remember it. How? I know Shogun is I loved Shogun. That was on Disney Plus. It was so good. So Shogun's at 5 for me, honestly. What's at number 1? Oh yeah, Shorzy. Shorzy's number 1. It's like a hidden gem to me, but you know, if you ever get the chance to watch it, I believe it's on ITV now in the UK. I think they've got the rights to it. It's a Canadian ice hockey comedy. It's 20 minutes an episode, but it's some of the funniest stuff. It suits my humour perfectly. Only episode I didn't like was when Coach Beard was in the series or something. Oh yeah, the Beard After Hours, I think was the name of the episode. It felt like a waste. I like the idea of the episode, like trying to be a little bit different, but you've got to be careful with a show when you try and go out of the norm or go away from the norm and do something completely different. It was okay, but it felt like a bit of a waste. The only thing it really sets up is Beard's relationship with Jane and a certain individual being at a certain event in the last episode. That's all it really does. Raiders thought they'd won last week, twice at 80 minutes and try an extra time again. Imagine how they feel now losing in an elimination game. They probably feel like utter shite, to be honest. They should have won last week. They should have done. For 2 reasons. One, because they had a 16-point lead at one point. They should have put that to bed. And they had an extra man for a few extra minutes with Carrigan going off as well. And the penalty at the end of the game. Again, as I said at the start, I agree that it's fine. The rule was implemented as it's stated in the rules. The rule was, you know, it was used correctly, but I don't agree with the rule. It should be changed, in my opinion. "100 minutes of playoff rugby ain't easy at all." Absolutely. But this is a very similar game, Sharks versus... it's a similar game to the Sharks versus Roosters last week. Sharks weren't a great side. They were good. Defensively, they did a good job, and they're doing the same again here. Too many mistakes, though. Is the defence going to be enough? Maybe. I think if the Raiders want to make the comeback, they need to start marching up the field a little bit more. So they're going to have to make more meters. Both teams are coming out, by the way. The Raiders need to make more meters through the middle, if they can. They need to restrict the meters from the Sharks. They need to be disciplined. Complete the sets, get to the kick. They've got to start finding the corners here. And when the Sharks are coming at them with energy, they've got to close these gaps. They can't allow the easy line breaks. Well, it's going to be difficult, Finn. Without Strange, they can't really do it. They can't play their usual style. They're kind of focusing a bit more on individuals, which is all they can really do. You know, when you make a last-minute change to your spine, it's hard to execute in the same way. So they are just reliant on a lot of individuals. It's going to take things like kicks, like grubber kicks from Fogarty in for Young or Hosking to chase, things like that, or trying to crash over like Horsburgh did. So it's difficult to do. Feel the Raiders are not going wide at all. That's the thing. I said in the predictions video, they like going to Hosking and Young for the switchback to cut back inside. But they've got to start spreading it further wide, stretch the defence. Weeks will kick off any second now. And here we go. Second half has now begun. It is 12-6 for the Sharks. Can they retain the lead? Will there be a comeback? Will there be changes in the scoreline again? Or changes in the leader? We will see. Yeah, he must be, David. He must be. Katoa with a carry over the 20. Now up to the 30. That's too many early meters already. The Raiders need to restrict that. Confirmed Super League schedule for next week? I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. It's with Hamlin Ueli down the left edge over the 40. 2 tackles to go. It's now with Talakai. Takes it over halfway, up towards the Raiders 40. Great meters in this opening set for the Sharks. Trindle puts boot to ball. Plenty of height. The Raiders could be pinned back already here. Collected cleanly by Weeks. 5 out from his own try line. Behind the 10 currently. That's a minute gone. The Raiders already with a lot of work to do. That's a great opening set from the Sharks. Now it's Stewart. Up towards the 20. Push back a metre or 2. Starling. Now with Tamale. Now up towards the 30. Hudson Young over on the right edge now. Up towards the 40. Good meters. Last tackle for the Raiders. He could do with a couple 40-20s in this game as well. But a kick from Fogarty on the last. Collected by Katoa. 15 out from his own try line. Cuts back towards the middle on the 20. Lad, if you just ran straight, you make an extra 10 metres there. 2 minutes gone. Sharks in possession. Kale Ido carries it over the 30 for the Sharks. Multalo up towards the 40. It's easy metres for the Sharks here. Brayley. Now with Fanua Blake. He did play the full first half, didn't he, Fanua Blake? Or am I tripping, as the kids definitely don't say these days. Brayley, now on the last to Trindle, kicks from the 40 inside Raiders territory. Plenty of heights on that one. Collected in goal by Weeks. He gets a 7 tackle set, 20 metre tap. Oh, bloody hell. But that is important for the Raiders. At the start of the game, it was looking better for the Sharks. The Raiders needed that. I think so, especially with Hazelton out. Yeah, that's a big blow for the Sharks, but they look, in terms of quality and depth in the forwards, they've still got plenty of options, which is good for them. Sasangi with a break. Look at him go. Didn't really have proper support. It's not like a negative point. It was just kind of unexpected there, to be honest. But the Raiders now 10 metres out. Young. 5 metres out. Can he go himself? Hudson Young just stopped. 6 again for the Raiders in front of the right post. Great chance for Canberra. Fogarty. He's going to go himself, maybe. Don't force it. You got a fresh set. Don't force it. Right at the post. Second tackle. Mariota. Oof. That looked like an ugly hit on Brayley there. It is left to Fogarty. Now it's Sasangi. Kicks through and chases. Tackle without the ball, maybe. And Katoa takes over the dead ball line. What's the rule with the 20 metre restart? We scored with Barron. Because the ref played on, but sometimes stop. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, Finn, the way it works is if you have everybody behind the 20 when you take the tap, you can just go. Doesn't matter what the defence is doing, as long as you have everybody behind the 20, you can tap and go without interruption. But if somebody is over the 20, you have to wait for them to get back on side. And if you tap it before that, you have to go back and reset, and everyone can reset. And as I'm just explaining rules, Sasangi walks in for a try. Who cares about Ethan Strange? Okay, well, at least you understand the rule now, Finn. But yeah, that's a try for the Raiders. Let's have a look at this one again, shall we? Can't wait. Trumpet. Okay. So it was with Sasangi. Oh, this was earlier. Burst through the line. Look at him go. He's doing the job. He's doing the job of a 6. So it was in centre field. They go left to Fogarty. Out the back to Sasangi. Steps past Hines. Lets him go. And he's through. Sasangi. Nice little step. He has got some pace to him. A big body. Bit of pace. Oh no, this will be called off for obstruction in a second. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, he doesn't go through the line. That's going to be no try. For God's sake. You know the rule, just go through the line. Right, well, that doesn't have to go in the stream highlights video. Get in. But, there we go, that'll be choked off. Give him the ball a bit more, I say. Give him the ball a bit more. Destiny, hi, I'm new here. Hope we all become friends. Well, that's very nice of you. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So it is a penalty for the Sharks. They have possession up towards the 40 now with Colquhoun, taking the first carry of this set. And that's nearly 5 minutes gone. Brayley on the 40. It is now with Talakai. Loses the ball. Collected by Fogarty. It's now with Starling. On the 30. Up towards the 20. So I guess maybe get Sasangi involved a little bit more. Hosking. 15 metres out. Fresh to the 6 for the Raiders. They could get these points back if they can find a way. Timoko down the right edge. Don't force it. Stewart, all the way in the back right corner. 6 again for the Raiders. Back towards middle with Fogarty. Switches back to Mariota. Takes it onto the 10. Nearly lost the ball there. He's nearly lost it. Just about retains it. Starling, left to Fogarty. On his right to Horsburgh. Under a bit of pressure there. Stopped on the 10. Plenty of tackles to go in centre field. Starling. Out the back to Timoko. Not Timoko, sorry. All the way to Tamale. I said Timoko. I meant Fogarty. Out the back to Chris. Across to Savelio Tamale. Puts it down the corner. Try for the Raiders. Well done me. 6 minutes gone in the second half. It is a response from the Raiders. They needed that. They really needed that. Answering back straight away after that one was choked off. So it went across to Chris. It was Ramian that jumped out the line. Great ball from Fogarty. Across to Tamale. I did back him as an anytime try scorer. He's done it. There we go. Important kick here from Fogarty near the touchline. This is going to be a tough one. Savelio Tamale with the try. Great ball from Fogarty. Yeah, I got the names wrong. I got the names completely wrong. Hi, Joshua. Welcome back, sir. Who faces the Broncos next week? That'll be the winner of the Bulldogs and Panthers. He'll kick it. David's calling it. We shall see. It's a tough one. Nicholson needs to come on. He will do at some point. I've got to end the poll as well. Nicholson. What can he do? What can the young man do when he goes on? If he scores a try, I'm playing the Warrington Wolves transition. If he does. This is a tough kick from Fogarty. 81% this season. 4 or 5 last week. Go on, Jamal. Get this. Make it interesting. The kick is... Looks alright. Oh, it's good. 12-all, folks. Beautifully done. We've got a game. We've got a game. In the last few years, since I've been watching both Super League and the NRL, I think this has been the best year for both comps. If that makes sense. Like, not just a great year from the NRL, poor from Super League, or vice versa. I think both seasons have been, or both leagues have been great this year. And it's the best it's been for both as a combination that I've seen. I think it's been a great year for League. Hopefully International is just as good. Because if it is, damn. Smithies, up towards the 20 for the Raiders. Nearly 8 minutes gone in the second half. Still backing Raiders to win this one. McLovin's calling it. I think Raiders will score 3 in a row and win. Sharks score only 1 at the end of the game, says Niklaus. All right. He's calling it. Very specific. Need to bring back the World Club Challenge and actually make it something people care about. Let's kick towards the left of the sticks. Collect it cleanly. The only thing is with the World Club Challenge, like a lot of Aussies say that they don't care. But I think they would care more if England could win the Ashes and if England win the World Cup next year, and or like if they win either, it elevates England on the world stage, and there'll be a lot of precious NRL fans that want to get that sort of claim back as them being the best in the world. So if we want to make the World Club Challenge worth more, England need to cause an upset this year and next year. Kicking the last here from Trindle. Weeks underneath it, or it's batted backwards. And again, Iro in the corner, then to Trindle. Referee said that the knockback was forward over the ground. That's a bold call. That's a very bold call. I think he was in line with it. I think he might be right, actually. I think he might be right. Why did they stop the World Club Challenge? I think it was just like money might have been an issue, or like the travel and all that is a bit much. Starling with a quick play the ball up towards the 30, has to play it on the 30. Fogarty now with Smithies. Honestly, Aussies will only say that if we lose. We love it when we win, we're embarrassed when we lose. Fair enough. If Australia win, there's one content creator in particular that'll I'll never hear the end of it from. I mean, not to me specifically, but Kennedy collects it. Bit of an awkward one, that. We'll get it. End score, you got 26-12 Sharkies. We will see. Don't know about that call. I do think it was... I do get it. I think the ball travelled forwards very slightly and it was knocked back by a different player. So that would constitute a knock-on. / forward, whatever. I think it was okay. Will the Ashes have English and Aussie refs or just more in Kendall? It'll be, I think, all English. It'll be our style of rugby, so it suits us a little bit more. Hines, left to Trindle, across to Iro on the 4th tackle, 29 to go. 20 metres out for the Sharks here on the last tackle near the left edge. It's with Trindle, chips towards the back left. Mulatalo is there, he's great in the air. It's a knock-on from the Raiders, collected by Weeks. It is called as a knock-on. Raiders under a bit more pressure. There's a lot to deal with here. Yeah, the slower ruck speed might suit us in the Ashes. Actual question, are the Super League refs better than the NRL, in your opinion? Honestly, I think all refs are about the same, to be honest. They are helped or hindered by the rules of the leagues. I don't think there's much difference. On the back of the scrum, it is left to Iro, 5 metres out. Brayley, right to Wilton. 28 minutes to go. Stewart looking shaky, maybe a little bit. It is a 6 again for the Sharks. In front of the post, it's with Hines. Switches back to Talakai. A little bit of room there. He is stopped inches in front of the try line. Great chance for the Sharks here. Right to Hines. Now with Britton Nicola, almost through. 5 metres out over on the right edge of the field. Now back towards the middle. Hines. Then to Burns. Down the left edge. Trying to sneak through. That is too easy. The Sharks have just scored. That's way too easy. That's just as simple as that. That's way too easy. I know they've had to deal with a bit of pressure down this end defensively, but you can't allow tries like that. That's close to the sticks as well. That'll be 18-12 to the Sharks in a second. So it went from Hines. Burns just cutting across. Fogarty and Hoskin can't get him wrapped up. Yeah, that's not good, that, from the Raiders. That's not good at all. That's really simple stuff. Yeah, fair. We all know how bad the EPL officiating is. It can be. They're saying to mix up the lineup for the Raiders. Maybe could they shift something around here? Could they move something around? Maybe Starling at 6, Weeks at 6, Chris at 1. Possibly. Get Sasangi in the centres, maybe. $26 minutes to go. It is 16-12 with a kick to come. It is right in front of the sticks, though. Hines should get this one. And he does. Very, very soft, absolutely. Way too soft from Canberra. That defence will be their undoing, whether it's tonight in Melbourne or in Sydney. It could be. K1 AEP says, let's go Sharks. There's a few in here for the Sharks, mate. There's a few. I did back the Raiders to win by 1-12. That's who I went with initially. When I saw Strange was out, it looked a little bit more difficult. When Hazelton was in the lineup, I thought it was going to be potentially even closer, because I think he was great 2 weeks ago against the Bulldogs, but he's now out for the game. You could honestly see Penrith winning again. I can as well at this point. Did I just see a Matty Nicholson? Matty Nicholson has entered the field. Let's go. Come on, Matty, lad. Let's go. Kale Iddo stopped on the 10. Go on, Matty. Former Warrington Wolves player. I'm a Warrington Wolves fan. Wished him the best all again this year, so... Go on, Matty. Get it done. Up towards the 30. Sharks in possession. Colquhoun with a carry through centre field. Or is that Burns? I think that's Burns, actually. Yes, it is. A kick on the last from Trindle, just behind halfway towards the back left. Weeks underneath it, collects it cleanly on the 10. 25 minutes to go. He's going to be stopped on his own 20. Really think the Bulldogs will pull off the upset of the decade tomorrow? Interesting. It's going to be all down to Toby Sexton, that. And still stopped on the 20, basically. They make a metre. Next carry from Savelia Tamale, one of the try scorers for the Raiders. Over the 30. 52% possession for the Raiders in this game. Hudson Young with a carry up towards the 40. Gets an offload to Weeks. They could do with a few more offloads, to be honest. 70% completion for the Sharks. It has been getting better. Oh, across to Chris. Possible 2-on-1 here if he gets around him. Bumps off one. Chris still going. Support the inside. The ball pops out. Great defence from Kennedy. Great defence. Chris is still down at the moment. It's going to be a captain's challenge from the Raiders. They're claiming this high contact from the knock-on. Okay. It is high. Alright, that is a penalty for the Raiders. Okay. We've got another good game here, folks. We've got another good one. Is it going to be a sin bin? I don't think it should be, but I can't do that, unfortunately, because that's copyright reasons. Unless you want to pay for my legal fees. 24 minutes to go. So there's a penalty, 15 metres out of tap from Starling, gives it to Fogarty, then it is with Nicholson. Go on, Matty. Go on, Matty. No sin bin, that's it. That's a good thing. I'm happy with that. It is right to Fogarty, switches back to Papali'i, takes it over the 10. Starling, left to Fogarty, pops up to Young. In front of the left post, Starling goes himself. He's wrapped up. Good scramble there from the Sharks. 2 metres out, left of the post. 2 tackles to go. Right to Fogarty. Across to Weeks. Then to Hosking. He's going to be stopped 2 metres short of the try line over on the right edge. Last tackle for the Raiders. Out the back to Fogarty. Chips across the posts. Collected by Ramian cleanly. Not much of a challenge there, really. He's going to be stopped 2 metres in front of his own try line. So the Raiders need to be really disciplined here. Tamale might have been offside there. They need to be really disciplined. Up towards a 10 now. Sharks in possession with 23 minutes to go. Penalty for the Sharks. What are you doing? What are you doing? That is so stupid. You need a try. You need a try. You can pin them back inside their own half, inside their own 10 for a couple plays possibly, and the first thing you do is give away a penalty. Absolute stupidity. Just over 22 minutes to go. Penalty for the Sharks. They're now up towards their own 30. Colhoun with the carry up towards the 40. Second tackle for the Sharks. Left to Trindle. Now with Burns down the left edge. So there is 22 to go. Up towards halfway. Wilton inside Raiders territory. Nicholson with a tackle. Go on, lad. Up towards their 40. Brayley scoots from dummy half up towards the 30. And some extra metres as well. And another penalty for the Sharks. Jesus Christ, they can go for 2 here. Sharks will go for 2. Raiders, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, obvious call. You take the 2. Ridiculous. Okay. They'll likely get the kick, but I'll just wait on it because it's not a gimme. So I'll just hang fire with that one. I'll get it ready to add on. I don't think he's going to miss it, but I'll just get it ready. But I'll wait until it's confirmed. But this could be what sets the Raiders in motion. What gets them kicked into gear. Hines definitely looks doable. Looks like an awkward one there from that camera angles, but it is good. It is 20 points to 12 for the Sharks. Raiders rattled, just don't look the same team from last week, yeah. But they've been a great comeback side this year. Let's see if they can do it. There's 20 minutes to go, plenty of time. Well, there you go. We timed that beautifully, Niklaus. There's 20 minutes to go exactly. So plenty of time for more to happen here. Just whether it will. I do think if the Sharks score again, if they score next, then I think that's game over. Let's see what the Raiders have got. And we're back underway. So they've got 8 points to make up now. A try and a kick. And then they still have the option of a 2-point drop goal. Indeed, the final quarter. 19 and a half minutes to go. Britton Nicola, 25 out from his own try line. I agree, David. Colhoun with the next carry up towards the 30. In centre field. Wrapped up by 3. Makes a few more metres. Third tackle is now with Rudolph. Are the big 3 out there? Toppany and Papali'i are both on. Over halfway now with Burns down the left edge. Burns has done alright today. 19 minutes to go on the Raiders 40. Last tackles with Trindle. Towards the back left corner again. It's going to come down on the 10. It's not quite the corner. But the Sharks are making good meters on these sets. They're making really good meters. So now with Timoko. Just over the 10. Now with Savelio Tamale. 18.5 to go. Up towards the 20. They could do with a 40-20 as well, to be honest. Stewart with the next carry. A few metres shy of the 30. Sasangi will scoot from dummy half over the 30. He's eventually wrapped up. Last tackle for the Raiders. Right to Fogarty. With a Burton bomb. Swirling. Not much distance on it, but could be tricky. Collected cleanly by Mulatalo. But he's literally a few metres short of the 40. I'm the same, Dingle. I really wanted the Raiders to do well. I think they're built to get to the grand final. It's just unfortunate with Strange. I think with him in there, it'd be a slightly different game. The Sharks might still have won, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I don't know if it would have been a guaranteed win. It definitely would have been a closer game in my opinion, but it's unfortunate. It's right to Hines, over halfway. Then with Nick could have stopped on the 40. Last tackle. So the Sharks keep getting up to the 40. There's a bomb here from Trindle. Bounces back towards the Sharks. Could be a mess here. This could be a try for the Sharks. What has just happened? What? I didn't even say a word. What has just happened? That might be a Sharks try. I need to see that again. So Trindle bombs it. Plenty of spin. They let it bounce. Bounces back towards the Sharks. Iro goes up. Tries to bat it backwards. There's a chance maybe he's knocked it into Fogarty or Fogarty knocks on. It is then slapped down by Raiders player. Backwards. Collected by the Sharks. And he just goes in. Mate. The only thing I want to check is whether that's a knock-on from Iro the first time around. Or if it's a knock-on from Fogarty. That's the only thing I've not seen yet. $16 minutes to go. The clock's still ticking. I've not seen try confirmed yet. Still waiting on it. This is my only problem with tries, because the clock's still ticking away. Like, the clock's still ticking. But, like, if it's chalked off, like, they don't get the time back. So for me, I think you stop the clock after a possible try. You always stop the clock. And if it takes the bunker/video ref 45 seconds to check it, then you take off 45 seconds. That's what I was thinking. Did Iro slap it into Fogarty? So is it a knock-on from Iro first time round? I know it only goes on for a minute, but if it's no try, they don't get the minute back. Try confirmed. Okay. Well, this is right in front of the sticks. This will be 26 for the Sharks. That might be game over. It'd be an absolute miracle if the Raiders did it. But I don't think they will. Yeah, that's probably going to be game over. Probably. Right, 15 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock. I'm aware, Drizzy. I never said they were a bad team. I always said they were a good team. Will they go for a short kickoff or will they go long? Looks like they're going long here. Okay. So, The Raiders need 14 points in 15 minutes and 38 seconds. So collected on the try line from Trindle, gives it to Rudolph. Cuts back towards the middle. Ooh, nearly a high shot there. Takes it just over the 10. Britton Nicola with a carry up towards the 20. Too many easy meters again. Already just short of the 30 after 2 tackles. Katoa, now on the 30, bumps off Patty. Can he bring a bit of energy, bit of spark from the ruck? We'll see. Stop just short of the 30. Well, my initial thoughts, Drizzy, was Strange was in the squad. That's why I picked the Raiders. Strange, not just because of Strange, but he was also in the squad. Like, that is a big factor. Only found out last night that he wasn't in it. Trindle puts boot to ball towards the back left. Could be a tough take. Taken cleanly from Stewart. Nicely done. A last minute change. It was last night, I think. I don't know when they knew it wasn't going to be available, but if they only had a day to prep, then it doesn't help. Offload here for Weeks. Now with Chris down the left edge. Carries it up towards the 30. 3 tackles to go for the Raiders. 14 minutes to go. Papali'i over the 30. Now up towards the 40. 2 tackles for the Raiders. Gets an offload, actually. Sasangi makes an extra meter there. Patty, right to Tarpany. Then to Fogarty. Hosking, Weeks, Timoko. Trying to get around one. Near the right touchline. Inside Sharks half. Last tackle. Stewart near the right touchline. On his left to Fogarty. Kicks on the last. Plenty of height. Kennedy underneath it. Collects cleanly. Wrapped up by Tarpany. The Raiders need to keep the Sharks restricted here. They need some territory down this end. Would you prefer Super League did the same as NRL with these squad lists or keep it as 21-man squad? Squad lists, 100%. Makes it so much easier. And on a Tuesday as well. Like the NRL does. I'm sick and tired of, trying to guess who's playing. I can't keep track of every team. With injuries and suspensions, it's all over the place in Super League. It's not clear enough at all. But with the NRL, you know. You know who's injured. You know who's in. You know who's out. It's always clear every week. Super League needs to start doing that. Raiders had such a good season. Miracle wins up and down that schedule. Get knocked out straight as out in straight sets at home. Brutal. Yeah, they're the best home side in the league as well. Was that out in the full? Has that gone out behind the 10? Mate. Let's see. I don't know where the kick was from. Well, it's a play the ball on the 10. I think that went out over the dead ball line. I think that should have been a 20-metre tap, but it hasn't been called anyway. They're up towards the 20 now. Nicholson, go on, Matty. 12 minutes to go for the Raiders. Such little time left. They've got to just go. They've got to launch it. Hudson Young wrapped up on the 20. Shrugs off a few. He's still going, actually. Over the 30. Great carry there from Hudson Young. Honestly, the Raiders, they could do with a sin bin for the Sharks. I think they need that. They need a few penalties in their favour as well. Offload there from Hosking. And collected by Braden Trindle. Yeah, I can't see the Raiders doing it. I'm so disappointed with this because I thought the Raiders could do it. It's a shame about Ethan Strange, but the Sharks have been a good side. They needed to clean things up in the first half. They eventually did for a 10-minute period, and that's where they got the tries. They had some good line breaks, good stuff from Hines. Oh, yeah, the derby. The derby. I need to get that going. Canberra in possession. Is it even on Sky? It's really not on Sky. Seriously. Savelio Tamale cuts back towards the middle. He's on his own 30. And that's a penalty for the Raiders. They needed that. Oh, there we go. Right, I've got the game up. The derby is now up on screen. There we go. Come on, Everton. Come on, lads. Yeah, TNT, that's the one. All right. Papali'i, now Horsburgh, then to Fogarty, 30 metres out. Weeks. Looks like they have the numbers maybe spaced down the right edge. It's at Anfield. Horsburgh. Up towards the 20. 3 tackles to go. 10 minutes left, folks. Patty. Not sure where to go. Goes left to Fogarty. Now with Young. Gets an offload back to Patty. 10 metres out now with Tarpany. Gets an offload. Patty. Switches back to Young. Possible breakthrough here. 5 metres out. 2 tackles left for the Raiders. They kind of need to score right now. Patty. Horsburgh trying to crash over. Not quite. Not quite. Last tackle for the Raiders. Patty. Kicks it through. Collected. Mate, just spread the ball. Just spread the ball. What are you doing? Trindle, a metre out from his own try line. Mulatalo. Stuck behind the 10 at the moment. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Yeah, a little bit stupid that. Not great. Up towards the 20. Near the left touchline now. Mulatalo. Stopped on the 20. 4th tackle. Scoot there from Brayley. Good metres up towards the 30. Plays it for Ramian. Left to Trindle. Kicks from behind the 40. Plenty of spin on this one. Weeks underneath it. Lets it bounce. It can't go out. It can't go out. Collected on the 10 by Stewart. Takes it up towards the 20. Fogarty. Now with Weeks. They really need Weeks getting a bit of room here. They need like Weeks out the back or something getting a break. Like we see with Reece Walsh or something like that. Hudson Young leading the VB hard-earned index up towards the 40 now with Timoko. 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go. 3rd tackle. Horsburgh. Dentist to Sangi lose it. What are you doing? What are you doing? They turn it over. 8 minutes to go. Left with Mulatalo. Room to run. Just over 20 metres out. Oh, get up. There's nothing wrong with you. 20 metres out. It's now with Ramian. Cuts back towards the middle. I think the Raiders have just thrown this one away. Absolutely thrown it away. And a 6 again. I really wanted the Raiders to do well. I really, really did. But they have thrown it away with the stupidity in the second half. The absolute stupidity. Left to Hines, then to Fanil Blake. Almost over. I think he's just either held up or short. He is short, has to play. It was 7 minutes to go. Brayley is going to go himself. Oh, that's an important tackle there from Hosking. 2 tackles left for the Sharks. Trindle is going to go himself as well. He's held up. 6 minutes 50 left. A miracle intercept will save him? Maybe. Thing is, they've got to score twice, and then they've got to get a 2-point drop goal as well if they can't get another try on top of it. So see, play the ball on the last, on the 10 for the Sharks. Short side left again. There's a kick through. I think he's just done it. Has Wilson just done it? The Sharks they've secured it. I think Raiders fully deserve that L after the utter stupidity in that second half. Just like forcing things they don't need to force. Too many errors. Too many penalties. Allowing way too many easy meters up the field. They've literally in the second half just thrown it away. And that's not to say the Sharks haven't earned it, because they have. The Sharks have earned this one. They've been a good side. They've attacked well. Plenty of line breaks. Good meters up the field. The kicking game's been solid. Trindle finding the corners. Hines with a couple line break assists as well. The Sharks have earned it. And the Raiders have thrown it away. Mate. I'm so disappointed in the Raiders. The basics. It's not even just the Raiders. It pisses me off when teams don't do the basics properly. It doesn't matter which team. It could be one of my team's closest rivals. It could be Wigan. It could be Saints. It doesn't matter. Teams not doing the basics pisses me off. Yeah, what Niklaus said. Thanks, Niklaus. Greatly appreciated. Wilton's had a good game. 5 tackle bust, 129 metres, a line break, and a try. One of the Everton players looks like he's wearing baseball pants. I can't see any. I don't know who you mean, McLovin. I don't know who you mean. The kick is good as well. Well, the Sharks will move on. They will play the Storm next, I think it was. I do think the Sharks are actually built to win a grand final. Like, they've got the squad for it. They just haven't put in the performances for it this year. But I think they're built to do it. They've got the pack for it. They've got the guys in the backs. But it's just how consistent they were this year. That's been an issue with them the last couple of years. They've had good sides. But is it their turn now? Is it their turn? Oh, Garner Gay. I see who you mean. I see who you mean. It is with Colquhoun. Takes a carry down the left edge up towards the 40. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And a carry over the 40. It is left to Colquhoun. It's Burns, sorry. My bad. Kick on the last hit. 4.5 minutes to go. Weeks underneath it. Collects it cleanly. And he'll play this just over his own 10. Timoko. Trying to find a bit of room to run. Still going up towards the 20. 4 minutes left. Now with Horsburgh over the 20. Hudson Young up towards the 30. Patty scoots from dummy half over the 40. Last tackle. And a penalty for the Raiders. Fogarty kicks the touch from the halfway line off the back of the penalty. They'll start a fresh set 35 metres out. I wouldn't mind if the Sharks win next week. That would make it quite interesting. I wouldn't mind it. Just something new in the final would be decent. Papali'i left to Horsburgh. Stopped just shy of the 20. Right to Fogarty. Then to Weeks. Across to Timoko. Nearly a high shot there from Trindle. 2 minutes 50 left. On the 10, over on the right edge of the field. Stewart. Now with Fogarty. Then to Tarpany. Oof, big hit into Fanua Blake. Tarpany still going though, 5 metres out. Right at the posts. Pops it up to Papali'i. 2.5 to go. Last tackle for the Raiders. On the back to Fogarty. Kicks through for Hudson Young. Over the head of Kennedy. Young can't quite ground it. I think that's going to be a 7 tackle set there. The ref wants to check it. Clock is stopped with 2 minutes 20 to go. And Liverpool has scored. It's less than 10 minutes in. Oh, it's, well, yeah, 10 minutes gone. For God's sake. For God's sake, man. Okay, that'll just be a 7 tackle set there. I didn't actually see the goal. I've not seen it yet. I just saw him celebrating. Over the top from Salah. It's a good ball. And then over Pickford. Yeah, it's a decent goal, that. It's a pretty decent goal. For God's sake, man. 2 minutes 20. Sharks will get a 7 tackle set. Maybe there's more points in this. Sione Katoa with the first carry of this set. Makes about 4 metres. Mulatalo down the left edge. With the next carry. Stopped on the 30. 2 minutes left. Fanua Blake pushed back a couple metres. Brayley right to Hines, then to Nicola over the 40, up towards halfway. Minute and a half to go. Quick play the ball for Brayley, right to Nico Hines. Do the Sharks want more points here? Do they want more points? 1 minute 20 to go. It's with Britton Nicola. Kicks on the last. Not great. It is knocked on by Horsburgh, I think. Yeah, knocked on by Horsburgh. Ah, damn. Minute 10 to go. Fair play to the Sharks. They've been good. The meters have been really solid. They do need to clean up their errors. The Sharks 100% must clean up their errors. They got away with it against the Roosters. They got away with it against the Raiders in this one. But it is not good for long-term success. Like, you cannot continue doing it. Their luck will run out. They've got to be cleaner next week. When they started cleaning things up, they actually executed off the back of it. But you can't execute if you don't have the ball because you keep dropping it. They've got to be better next week. They're capable of finding the points. They're capable of defending. But you can't keep turning the ball over. Any penalty goal? There was one earlier in the game, yeah. From Hines. So with Fanua Blake, 10 metres out. 10 seconds to go. Canberra one-man team? I don't agree with that, to be honest. I don't agree with that. And it's now with Britton Nicola. The hooter sounds, and that will be full time. Canberra Raiders 12, Cronulla Sharks 32. It was looking like it could have been a decent start to the game. A little bit back and forth. Canberra leading. Well, I think it might have been the Sharks leading. Equalizer. Raiders taking the lead. Sharks equalizer. Whatever it was, I can't remember. But we were literally saying just before half time, the Sharks would be happy if it was 6-6 going into the sheds. We said that just before half time. They made it 6-6, and 3 minutes later, they made it 12-6. They had 58% completion at one point. They were under so much pressure defensively, but they dealt with it fairly well. The Raiders, without Ethan Strange, found it difficult to really move the ball around. They're either just trying to crash over or get it to Young or Hosking. They couldn't really spread the ball as much. There wasn't really that much intent to do so. But yeah, that second half, the amount of errors from the Raiders. The Sharks cleaned things up. A couple penalties from the Raiders as well. The Sharks had, it was really easy for the Sharks making meters through the middle. Got up the field. Trindle kicked towards the corners. They pinned the Raiders back. It was hard to get up the field for them. So the Sharks, they fully earned that one. The Raiders, they had to be a much better side. They just had to do the basics, but they didn't do it well enough. Even without Strange, they had the capabilities to get it done, but they needed to be cleaner in possession. And yeah, the Sharks, good carries, good kicks, good defence, much cleaner second half. And they've got the defence to do it. They've got the attack to do it. They just need the discipline. They need to make sure the discipline is on, they're on top of that, and they got to make sure they don't keep dropping the ball next week. So the Sharks, genuinely, based on the form that they're on, the wins they've had, I think the Sharks are up there and can absolutely win it all. But they've got to be cleaner in possession. And that's it. Okay. Right then. I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to go watch the derby. As we're currently losing 1-0. That's great. So happy about that. But yeah, I do want to say thank you very much for those that stopped by. It's greatly appreciated. I will be streaming tomorrow morning. Slight warning, I'm out for drinks tonight. So I could be hungover for tomorrow. So I might not be that energetic. But yeah. I'll see you tomorrow morning. For the other game. So, yeah. If I don't see you for the rest of the weekend, have a great rest of your weekend. See ya.